were y'all chuckling about?
Because I forgot Adrian has it all badass in here, and I was going to go old school and put the timer on my phone. And I'm like, wait a minute. Adrian's got all this shit set up for us. Get off your phone,
Okay,
woman.
sorry. I was sending an email.
So you look extra cute today. What's going on?
Thank you. It's just rainy and gloomy outside. Actually, I had this other outfit that I was going to wear, and it's basically like a raincoat onesie. Like it's like windbreaker material, but you really been like ripping on my outfits.
I don't ever rip on your outfits.
You kind of got me with my Theo when you called out my shirt for being like Theo. So I was like, I can't do that back-to-back episodes. I gotta chill it out.
We got to give it up to Aztec Chevrolet for always taking care of us.
Yes.
From Aztec in Beeville Chevrolet to Uvalde Chevrolet and Uvalde to Aztec Ford, our friends over there in Goliad. Old Salt Coffee, just had some this morning. Love them. Trevino 10 is the code.
Yes.
And of course, Raul Western Wear. People keep asking, what is that shirt you're wearing on the Netflix special?
Yeah.
Raul Western Wear. Get it.
Oh,
Love it.
You know what? Actually, we can talk about this. Cordero McMurray, the host from San Antonio Morning Shows, I got a text from him this morning. He said, I'm wearing the Guayavera that you guys gave me. He goes, because I'm doing a segment on Guayaveras.
Oh,
and he
better
like,
blow us up.
Yeah, he said it looked good. He was excited to be wearing his shirt this morning.
And our friends at Rebecca Creek, my favorite whiskey at the moment. I got to tell you, my first time in Wyoming.
Oh, this weekend.
Adrian, have you ever been to Wyoming?
I never have.
Holy shitballs.
Okay, what cities? I thought you were in Denver this weekend.
Well, we did Pueblo on Friday.
Okay.
Pueblo on Friday.
Uh-huh.
And it went amazingly well.
Yeah.
Love me some Pueblo. And then we went afterwards. We were like, hey, let's have a drink.
Uh-huh.
Right? So we literally went to a bar across from the theater, and everybody from the theater was there. So I ended up doing a bar meet and greet.
I was going to say, surprise.
Yeah. Ended up doing a bar meet and greet with everybody, which was really, really cool because I don't normally do that.
Yeah.
You know, normally I'll go to a casino, I'll play craps, I'll hang out at the venue.
Uh-huh.
I don't go out anymore. But we were like, oh, let's have a drink, you know, and we walk in, and I mean everybody was. And
Did you end up riding home with strangers this time?
No, not
because that's what's so funny is the last time we told that story about you like getting it because you couldn't get an Uber and you got to ride home with the strangers. Crystal and
they
were
fans.
Well, from your show, yes, but
now they're friends.
They've become friends. We like see them out. We like message each other back and forth. Very, very sweet.
But you know, I got there and it was like, can I have a picture? Can I have? And I'm like, oh man, I wasn't expecting to do a full meet and greet, you know. But it was great, and everybody.
The bar was cool. Howard.
The bar was great, and everybody was so nice, and it was so funny because I walk in and you know there's the bar's here, people taking pictures are sitting there at the bar.
Uh-huh.
I go to the corner to try to order a drink. We start taking pictures, and then somebody goes, I think it's Bert Kreischer. And
did you take your shirt off and you're like, no, not Bert?
And then one of my fans goes, he's funnier. Bert Kreischer never got to number 2 on Netflix. Like they like totally defended me, and I was like, oh, awesome. But that was great.
Yeah.
And then we woke up in the morning, and then the routing was all kind of screwy, but
it's been pretty good lately.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
But we had to drive back through Denver to go to Cheyenne. I had no idea this phenomenon in Wyoming, which is super crazy high winds.
Oh.
Did you know about this?
Is it kind of like tornadoes in Oklahoma? Like, you know,
it's
tornadoes
just part
are
of it. I mean,
blowing through there.
Dude, I'm talking about every 5 miles, a big rig on its side.
That's so scary.
I'm talking like RVs, people towing RVs. They were on their side. 18-wheelers on their side.
Oh, my gosh.
Trailers on their side. I mean, it was insane. I mean, I'm holding the wheel like this, and I'm going straight. And they said it was up to 100-mile-an-hour winds.
That's a hurricane for
it
us.
was crazy. At one point, we're driving. There's a rig flipped over on the other side, and people are breaking the windshield to help get the guy out of there.
Dang.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this must have been
like a crazy
just
storm.
a crazy deal.
Uh-huh.
And they go, oh no, all the time.
So you just stay off the road.
They have, we were wondering why they had barricades. They'll close down that highway, that stretch of highway. They will literally just go, you can't go.
Oh, is it something about the way the wind funnels
Goes through the
there?
mountains or whatever. But holy moly, was it crazy.
Why is it so windy in Wyoming? The Rocky Mountains to the west and across western Wyoming act as a barrier that blocks the movement of moist air from the Pacific Ocean, resulting in a semi-arid climate. As a result, the region experiences strong prevailing winds that typically blow from west to east. So it's the geography.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, I've never driven in wind like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, normally you get a warning here in Texas, like, hey, don't leave.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
High wind, extreme.
You know.
We get warnings on our phones for like extreme wind or extreme rain.
Unbelievable. Oh, and then we're like, Timmy goes, oh, I just saw a sign for Buc-ee's. We should go to the Buc-ee's. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the best truck stops, right? Renae, the insanity at this Buc-ee's.
Because people like decided if I'm going to hunker down somewhere, it's
no,
gonna be
it had
Buc-ee's
only been open 2 weeks.
Oh, so they don't know the magic.
Everybody, like, we just bailed because it was literally people waiting in line like they're going into an amusement park.
Yeah.
Every parking spot full, every inch of that parking lot full. And we were like, F this. Like,
in peak travel times, you'll pull up to a Buc-ee's and you can't get a gas pump. And these places are known for having like more gas pumps than any other station, like 40 gas pumps.
It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So we're like, screw this. We leave that one. And then there's this poor, lonesome gas station.
With dirty bathrooms.
That you know they were like, well, there goes our business. Like, I mean, so we pulled into that one, did our thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were so pleasantly surprised with the turnout in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised. I don't want to name comedians.
Okay.
But there are 2 huge comedians that do arenas.
Uh-huh.
And Joe told me that we sold more tickets our first time there than they did.
You're coming up, Steve Trevino.
So it was a great show, great people. But I was in the hotel.
What do you do in Wyoming?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing to do.
Watch the wind.
Yeah. I watched Dexter.
I know we were watching it together.
No, you bailed on me.
No, I was watching it with you, and then you're like, okay, I'm done with season 1.
But you know, and Adrian's a husband. Husbands and wives, you got to be both in. You got to be both in. And I had been telling her, Adrian, we got to get into Dexter.
I watched the pilot episode with you.
No, you passed out.
Did I? I
Yes.
thought I finished the first episode.
So I had already seen the first episode, and then I went to Renae and I'm like, hey, let's do this together. Like, it's a great show. I think you'll love it.
You bailed on me.
Well, no, halfway through she passed out, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go through having to beg you to watch this with me. And then another thing that drives me crazy.
Do it on a show that doesn't have like, how many freaking seasons does Dexter have?
Here's what else is crazy.
Can you do it on a show that only has like 2 seasons?
Well, here's what else is crazy.
Now I'm never gonna catch up.
Let me tell you what else freaking pisses me off. I'm like, hey, let's get into this. Now, when I get into something, I put my phone down and I watch because I'm into it. Renee's like this.
I don't know if I believe that.
And I'm like, where you have to go, Adrian, where you have to go. Hey babe, what, you're missing. I mean, Dexter. I mean, you're missing stuff.
You act like but I'm not just randomly scrolling. I'm editing a video or ordering groceries or making sure I have the kids' calendar correct. So you know what happens?
Now we're in episode 2, and I have to hear who's that, and what happened there, and go back. I don't know who that is.
But there's groceries in your fridge, Steve Trevino.
So I bailed, and I was like, screw it. I'm in Wyoming. There's nothing to do. My hotel room would shake with the wind. I could feel the building moving.
That's scary.
It was scary.
Why don't you say, like, put me on the first floor, please?
So I can get squashed?
No. You can get out easy.
No, you get on the top floor because then the top floor becomes the first floor.
I don't know if it works that way.
But anyway, I was just over, like, I was, you know, I feel like, and I talked to Jake, and Jake was like, oh, yeah, they're known for the most overturned vehicles because of that wind.
That's scary.
And I was like, what? You know about this? I don't know about this.
Oh.
But then it was back to Denver.
How was Denver this growing? You didn't complain about. You usually like always get altitude sickness, and you didn't.
I
didn't
think
hear
I
you
got
complaining this
lucky
time.
because I kind of acclimated in the other cities.
Oh, maybe because like the elevation was gradual as opposed to like flying in.
Yeah, going in
since
and
you
then
were
all of a
driving?
sudden being there. So I was good. I didn't have any altitude issues.
Yeah.
I did get an IV day one.
Well, maybe you weren't long enough till they're like long enough to get dehydrated.
I did have the bloody boogers.
Ooh.
You know, when they crust up on you. Vegas does that to me too, where you're just like,
Yeah.
they're sharp and hard and
Yeah.
the worst. But Denver was an awesome show. And then my dumb ass, because I just want to get home to my wife and kids. So I'm looking at my flight and I'm like, why am I leaving at 5 p.m.? I change it. So then all of a sudden I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, did it just get changed back?
Yeah.
So then Tatiana calls and she's like, dummy, you can't leave at 5 a.m. I'm like, why not? She says, you have the Daily Buzz interview at noon.
Yeah.
Live in studio in Denver. I'm like, oh, do I have to? And she's like, yes, you have to. It's like nationwide.
Yeah.
So then the luck of my career.
What happened?
Look, I have had the best managers. And then as soon as I sign with them, they go into rehab. Like shit like that has happened in my career.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh my God, I just got this huge manager. My career's going to be great. Oh, he went into rehab. Oh, awesome. Like things like that always happen to me. So, my first year headlining, Jimmy Fallon decides he wants to do stand-up to prepare for the Tonight Show. What weeks do they give him? All of mine.
Yeah. They literally took yours away and slotted in Jimmy Fallon.
They were like, oh, we'll just bump this idiot and give you all these weeks.
The idiot who needed those weeks to pay his bills.
To survive.
Yeah.
We did make it. We did survive. But Jimmy Fallon, you owe me one.
I'm sure Jimmy Fallon watches our podcast with commercial breaks.
I'm kind of looking up this Daily Buzz thing. I'm like, oh my God, they're in 200 markets. Like it is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And they have
the Daily Buzz.
But what's happening right during my segment yesterday?
Oh damn! I didn't even think about it.
So nobody's inside watching Daily Buzz.
No one's inside watching the Daily Buzz.
They're all outside watching the eclipse.
As a matter,
I'm killing it. Being my talented self.
Oh, well then we got to share the clip. We got to share the clip
But
on the Daily Buzz. Like
it was so bad.
Or like tack it on to the podcast, this clip.
It was so bad when they walked me in the studio, 0 people were in there.
Yeah, because
they were outside.
Are on location.
They were outside with their glasses. And they're like, hey, you have Steve Trevino. Oh, shit. Okay. And then we had to go back in. So just my luck. I'm on the Daily Buzz.
Oh, I didn't
right
even
in the middle
think
of the
about
eclipse.
that. And you know what they were talking about on the news this morning? They were talking about like how yesterday they were like all the news outlets, they took a break from the polarizing politics and the whole world was just looking up at the sky talking about the eclipse. Not Steve Trevino on the buzz.
I just... And then...
I'm sorry. I laugh because at this point it's comical. Like, especially because I know how badly you just wanted to be home, but you were like, no, I should stay and do this interview. Maybe
not. And God's like, let me give you an eclipse on the day you get national television.
Oh, baby. I'm sorry.
No, it's a story of my career. We'll just keep fighting.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going.
You have to have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I was like, really? Okay. I mean, 10 years ago, I would have been like, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, this is happening to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, oh, well, whatever. Like, let's just keep.
You are. Now you just make the best of it.
Let's just keep going. And I had a great segment on the Daily Buzz. Nobody saw it.
We're going to share it. Adrian, we're going to share it. You know what? We'll share it everywhere on every platform.
But it was just one of those things. I'm just like, really? And then haul ass to the airport to get home.
Yes.
And then Garrett, poor Garrett.
Oh, the kids, you know what? You were gone. This was a longer stretch of you being gone, and we all felt it. And both the kids, Delilah articulates it now, when
it's tough too because I was home for a long time. So they're not used to
because Easter, because
they're not used to me being on the road, and I had literally been with them for like 6 weeks straight.
Yeah, but in kid brain, they don't realize that.
But that's why they missed me, because it was
Dad's
like
gone a long
Dad was
time.
here all the time.
Yeah.
And then now he's gone, and I missed you guys so much too. And you know, people ask me all the time, "Do you love traveling?" I'm like, "No, I love being on stage."
Yeah.
Right? It's the traveling that I hate. It's the worst
Yeah.
part of my job, but it did feel longer.
Yeah.
And then the worst part is when you're like Garrett. It was so shitty because I didn't know what was happening. Garrett got hit with a foul ball.
I didn't know what was happening either because I was not there. I was home with Delilah. And
our friends had taken him to practice.
Yeah.
And then I land, and all of a sudden all these text messages come in, and it's like, I hope Garrett's okay. Is Garrett okay? How's his face? I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I called Renae right away. She's like, oh, he's okay, but he did take a foul ball to the face, and that's the scary part too.
By the friend that is like a powerful hitter. So that's what's scary too, is when you read those text messages, and I'm sure it said, he got hit by a tipped foul ball from this kiddo. You're probably like, oh shit.
Well, that was my response.
Yeah.
It was like, oh shit, what's happening? And that's the other scary thing about traveling, is that when stuff like that happens and you're on the road, you're like, oh my God, like,
It's been a while,
can't
Steve.
be
You knock
there.
on wood, Mr. Trevino, because it has been a while since something like that happened. I think last time I was in the emergency room with the sick Delilah when she was little.
Little. And then the biggest one is when I actually left the shows when we had our miscarriage.
Yeah.
And I just felt so helpless, and I immediately bought the very first flight I could get to get home, and you just feel so helpless, and you go, man, I'm on the road, I got to get home, and but it was Garrett. I show up, and Garrett's got just like a red mark in his cheeks, kind of, and I'm like, oh, well, congratulations, you finally got a black eye, you little wimp,
Oh, not even a black eye. I got him right here on the cheekbone.
right on the right, yeah, no black eye, but it did get him pretty good.
Yeah.
But it was a good weekend. I had fun. Johnny Sanchez is just, he's so funny.
Yeah. No.
Every time I hang out with him, he's got a new phobia.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm claustrophobic. And, when he was on the tour bus, he wouldn't sleep in the bunk. He refused. He's like, I can't. It's too claustrophobic. So he slept on the sofa in the living room part of the.
Yeah.
And then he's like, before the shows, he's got to pace.
Oh my God, that video you showed of him in your stories pacing down the hallway was so funny because Johnny walks like that. I'm surprised he doesn't have calves like you pacing the way he does.
He wants to be at the venue an hour early because he's like, Steve, I got to pace. And then he gets his little Chardonnay.
That's why I like Johnny, because there's always it's Pinot Grigio, actually.
Oh,
babe.
Pinot Grigio?
Yes. There's always a good bottle of Pinot Grigio.
What is it called? It's called Kim Crawford, but I just call it Cindy Crawford. I'm like, oh, he's got his Cindy Crawford.
Oh, no,
And
it's
then-
Sauvignon Blanc. That's what
That's what it is. And then he pours it in his little red Solo cup, and then he just paces. And and he's like, Steve, is that not, like, you don't need to pace? I'm like, no. And then I'm eating. He's like, I'll eat after. I can't eat before. And I can't eat before. And then we're on the road, and then he goes, what did so same thing Solana has. I had a bottle of water, and it was the crinkly one.
Oh, the sound of a empty water bottle crinkling.
He goes, oh, I have whatever phobia. He goes, people smacking their lips, people slurping. He's like, I have
something with sounds.
Sounds. I forget what phobia that's called. He's like, and I'm like, how many freaking phobias do you have? You have to pace. You can't eat before your show. You're claustrophobic.
Oh, but he's like the sweetest.
I love him.
Such a sweet human.
But he's like, I have to have an aisle. I can't be in the window. I'll have a panic attack on the plane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how many freaking? I don't have any of those phobias.
Yeah.
What's it called?
But it's
Misophobia.
He told me that. Yeah, misophobia.
Strong emotional reactions to sounds that most people do not notice, such as chewing or breathing.
Yeah.
My wife has that.
Does she? She don't like the way you breathe? Don't breathe like that. Like, well, sorry, I'm trying to stay alive.
I just ignore half the shit you say, so clearly I don't have that phobia. I just turn it off.
But I'm like, Johnny, how many phobias?
Yeah.
And every night he's like,
when I see him this weekend, I'm just gonna do this with my zipper by his ear and see what he does. I'm gonna be like,
dude. But it's so funny because he's like, I don't know, guy. I don't know. I'm just gonna have one drink. I'm gonna have one drink. That's it. I don't know. I just have, and then like 2 bottles later, he'll drink 2 bottles of the Cindy Crawford.
It's
And
not
I'm like-
Cindy Crawford. It's Kim Crawford.
I'm like, what happened, dude? I'm having one drink.
Yeah.
I've just finished 2 bottles.
Oh, well, we're going to be in Paso Robles this weekend. That's like wine country
So
area.
then,
So Johnny's going to
what
have to
was
get some
it?
good stuff.
Saturday in Wyoming, I was like, guys, I got to wake up early to watch Garrett's game.
Yeah.
I'm
They live stream it.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys go out. You guys do whatever. I'm calling it a night.
Uh-huh.
So I leave, and remember, it's 100-mile-an-hour winds. I called you.
You did. You told me. You were like, dude, my building
Adrian,
is shaking.
it was kicking me off my feet. That's how, like, I had to lean.
You would be walking out, you'd be like, I got to call you back. The wind.
It was crazy. Like, I literally had to lean up against it was insane. The winds were 75 to 100 miles an hour. So then, because Timmy's not drinking right anymore. Timmy's just getting high. Yeah, Timmy's just getting high. So Timmy said, because Johnny's not a big guy.
He's not.
Timmy said, drunk Johnny was trying to close the car door and couldn't do it. And he said, I go, you didn't record it? He
I was
like,
going to say, Timmy's always going live at the worst possible times. You didn't think to go Facebook Live in that moment?
He goes, Steve, I was literally on the ground. He goes, I couldn't stop laughing. Johnny would try to close it, and then the wind would blow him back, and then he'd try to close it, and then the wind would throw it. He goes, Steve, and he was drunk, so then he would stumble, and he'd fall, and then he'd get back up, and then he'd go at it, and oh my God. And then so Johnny's all mad. Johnny's like, why gotta, if you're not going to drink, it's better when you drink because you black out, and you don't remember what happened. Now you remember everything, and you're telling Steve everything that happened. Oh, so, but it was a good weekend, and I was glad, to be in a theater in Denver, and it was exciting. I'm excited, this week.
How was the theater in Denver? You've always done the comedy club, and Denver's interesting because Denver has like 2 comedy clubs.
Yeah, they have a South Side and a downtown. I was downtown, very bougie hotel.
Yeah.
Very, very, very.
I'm bummed I missed it.
Very fancy hotel.
Right up my alley.
Yeah, it was I forget what it's called, the Brown something or very, very fancy.
Yeah.
Really old hotel.
And people giving you snotty looks like you didn't belong there?
Yes. 1,000%. Like I walked up and I got the up and down. I go, I know I look homeless.
Yeah.
But I do belong here.
Yeah.
But very bougie, fancy hotel. And then, Denver, I didn't do much that night either because I knew Sunday Garrett had a game.
Yeah.
And I love that game changer. I just wish there was a better way to stream the games because I'm having to text you because they're so small.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's Garrett, right? Like I really wish that's what we need to invent, Adrian, a better way to do like a 3-camera system to stream games.
Oh my gosh, sir. It takes enough to get one parent there setting up the camera.
Oh, by the way,
with a
bro,
fully charged battery.
you want to talk about
please
hilarious,
don't incorporate 2 more cameras.
hilarious shit show. Jeremy, who's usually there to do it, he's kind of the
cameraman dad.
Every team has a camera guy, game changer dad. Ours is Jeremy. Well, Jeremy wasn't there, so his wife, Amanda, and Renae had to do it. Bro, I need to show it to you. Funniest shit. I can hear you girls talking.
I know, because I'm not used to being by the camera, so then I caught myself a couple times. I was like, oh shit, everyone can hear me live stream.
And then like they don't know how to, we got to get a better tripod, Adrian, for them because it then fell over. Thank God Renee's skirt was a squirt.
Not a squirt. That sounds gross.
A squirt?
A squirt.
It's a squirt. But at one point, Renee's trying to pick up the camera, and it is in her crotch.
Well, it's a squirt, so I don't squirt in the camera.
But thank God, because I'm thinking there's 15 people watching. Renee's putting on a show
I
over
didn't
here.
know that.
Yes.
Oops.
And then Amanda picks it up, and all you see is nose hair. like it's facing her nose hair. And then both your girls like, what do we do? Oh my God, it fell over. And maybe if we put my purse on it and
That's what we did.
I'll just hold it. Like
We didn't have sandbags.
Okay, the next day, Jeremy shows up.
Uh-huh.
Camera didn't fall once.
Well, it wasn't as windy the next day.
There was no net in front of the camera. Like, I could see everything. These girls, complete shit show. How many girls does it take to run the Game Changer camera?
Well, I don't know, because we have a mom who's doing the stats on paper, and then we have another mom who's doing the stats electronically, and then we got another mom who's running the app for the boombox music. So I don't know, Steve Trevino, but don't you add 2 more cameras to that shit.
And I want to kill the bitch that started the boombox.
Oh, the walk-up music?
You know that years ago, when the Bluetooth speaker came out, some baseball mom was like, my son's going to have intro music. And then all the other teams were like, does that kid have intro music?
Intro music. You're such a comedian. Walk-up music.
Walk-up music. And then it'd be like, well, F that. We need walk-up music. And then it started. And now, Adrian, get this.
And now Delilah sings, who let the dogs out?
Who? It's the cutest thing ever. Adrian, there is a service that you pay for them to edit a full-on batting second. Like it comes out on.
I know. I didn't realize now there's an app that like you put in your batter lineup and you put their song, and that way it has all their 11 seconds in order, and you just go through your batting lineup. Like,
but you know, one mom did it. One mom was like, I'm going to give my son walk-up music, and ruined everybody's life. It's the same dickhead that found a diamond and gave it to his caveman girl.
oh, I love that one.
That guy, that fucking dude could have not given it to her. But then all the other dudes were like, where'd you get that? Because his chick was walking around going, look at this diamond rock that shines and glitters that he got me. And the other dudes were like, bro, how the fuck did you do that?
Now you have me wondering what the real story is behind like the history of the.
So then all the other cave
proposing with a
bitches
diamond.
were like, how come cave bitch number 1 has a diamond and I don't? And that dude's like, well, I don't know where he found it. And she's like, well, go get one.
Are you not a hunter and a gatherer?
Go get my shit. I want a bigger one than that one. And that's where it all went wrong. And all that dude had to do was not bring it home.
I don't think cave women were wearing diamonds on their fingers.
That's
but
how it had to have happened.
I'm curious to know how it started.
Somebody found a diamond, brought it to his chick, and the rest is history. And all he had to do was not bring it to his chick. Because then all the other cave chicks were like, hey, where's mine? Ruined everybody's life. Are you trying to figure out where the...
It started in ancient Rome in 200 BC. But I don't
200 BC.
See, some asshole in ancient Rome found a diamond and gave it to his chick.
A Roman.
Well, you know what happened is he got it for himself, right? He found it, so he was like, oh, I'm going to wear this.
And she was like, what's yours is mine, what's mine is mine.
And she
Thank
was
you
like,
very
hey,
much.
how come? No, give that to me. And he's like, why do I got to give it to you? I'm the one that found it. And she's like, well, I like shiny things.
Yeah.
So then it ruined everybody's life for good. Right or wrong? I don't know how we ended up there.
I don't know how we ended up on diamond.
Oh, baseball, the one.
From one diamond to another.
It's a whole production, dude. It is a whole production. Walk-up music, and they have announcers. And I'm like, why do we need all this flash?
Oh, it's just like energy to keep it fun. They're little. It's just keeping it going.
I am not about the flash.
It's cute. You know what? None of the kids on our team have like really flashy or really ghetto songs. Like there's a lot of like old school epic jock jam songs.
I will say,
know?
so Jeremy sets up the camera by the dugout, and you can hear the boys talking. I really enjoy that.
That's cute.
Like you can hear the boys like pumping each other
themselves up.
and, and having their little conversations, and then whatchamacallit, Clay's walk-up music is
TNT.
TNT.
I love it.
So
I love
when
it.
all the kids were singing it
Oh, that's
in the dugout, and then Clay hits a grand slam walk-off to win it
Yes.
on Sunday. I mean, he could not have hit that ball.
When it went, I thought it was going over. I legit was like looking at it.
I mean, it's in
felt
the park
it's
home run,
slow
but
motion, thinking it was going over that fence.
you got to
'cause
keep
it was
in mind,
up.
we're in 13, 14U fields. If we were in a Little League field, 1,000% it's going over the fence. But, I mean, it cleared their heads and one-hopped the fence and cleared the bases. And I was just so happy, and it was so fun.
exciting.
They got their little rings. Now they get rings. They take pictures in the mound.
Oh, my dad kept teasing him with it. First, my dad put it on and then pretended like it was stuck on his finger and it wouldn't come off. And then I took the kiddos to Froyo afterwards, and Garrett had it on the table, and my dad snuck it away. And then Garrett was like, "Where's my ring? What happened to my ring?" Like, he's like, we were sitting outside. He ran into the Froyo place to see if he left it in there. My dad was just teasing him the whole time with his ring.
He's all about it. But I don't know. I don't need the music. I don't need the flash. I don't want my son to have the mullet. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to dye the mullet blue. I don't need fake money chains. I mean, dude, these kids are wearing this stuff. Like, these kids are wearing like big clip-on diamond earrings, and
I think they see them doing it in the big leagues. That's where it comes from.
Well,
That's where it comes from.
Those are professionals.
Yeah.
They get paid a lot of money.
Right.
And they deserve. I remember 7th grade, one of my football buddies who were playing football, he ran into the end zone with his finger up. And, oh, my God, did Coach Klein lose his mind.
Yeah.
Coach Klein was like, "We are not number one. You are not number one. There's an entire country out there that plays football. And until we beat everybody, you keep your finger down."
Yeah.
And I agreed with him. I agree with that.
I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I also think confidence is also such a killer attribute to have.
Especially in baseball. People don't realize that most games are won or lost in one inning. That is just how baseball is.
Yeah.
Because it's a confidence thing, right? Once they make a mistake and once they let a run in, and you've seen it, you've been around baseball enough that things start to unravel, things start to fall apart that inning, and all of a sudden they've now scored 8 runs when they scored 0 for 3 innings. Yeah, it's a mental game, right? And that's why I work so hard with Garrett on his mental game, right? That's why when I hit the ball to him and he misses it, I go, let's just fix it. Just fix it. You have an opportunity in baseball on the next play to fix it.
Yeah.
So it's such a mental game in baseball. I mean, you got guys who are professionals who get in a batting slump because it's confidence.
Yeah.
They strike out once and they go, "Oh, crap," and then I'm going to try to get it together. They strike out again, and then they just can't mentally recover. So I agree with you. I mean, confidence is a huge and just teaching your kids and in general, just like to not give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's what I try to do with Garrett. When he loses, I have a smile on my face.
That's hard too, because Garrett, when he makes a mistake, you really see it. Like in the stands, we are very well aware of how he feels about what happened.
I mean, he's getting better because he'll be like, my bad. But it's more like, my bad. Oh, my bad. I'll fix it. Instead of like, hey, I got you. Like, But he's doing good. I was so proud of the little baseball team, and we needed that.
Yeah.
We needed that, and it doesn't matter the competition. The boys played well.
Yeah.
They had a great tournament, and I'm pissed because again, I had made the last 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
And we didn't win a championship. The first weekend I'm gone. Not only we win a championship. Panch and Kiki were there. I would have loved to see Ryo play.
Yeah.
So I'm like, really? Like the one tournament that I don't make,
right.
Ryo's playing. I would have loved to watch him play. Panch and Kiki, best friends. And then Garrett wins a championship. And I'm like, and I'm not there.
Yeah.
And usually I'm back on Sunday for championship
Yes.
Sunday. So I didn't even get to get
those games.
championship Sunday. But
because you were on the Daily Buzz when no one was watching.
Well, I like that Adrian laughed at that. Thanks for reminding me, guys.
No, I just feel bad about it. I feel real bad about it.
Just my luck.
I know.
It is how my career has gone. It is.
No, but you know what? The special on Netflix is doing so well, and you're having amazing people come out and see you.
And we're getting such great response. I mean, there's people, sending me messages saying, "Never heard of you."
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're hilarious. Or
Yes.
best special out in the past few years. I mean, just getting.
And we're about to hit like the 1 month mark for Simple Man being out. So please, I know you guys have shared it and tagged us in it, but please
Watch it again.
Please watch it again. Share it again.
So
there's
what I'm
tons
doing
of
from now
clips
on,
now.
this weekend, when I get to St. Louis Obispo, I'm going to literally tell the audience, pull your cell phones out. If you have Netflix, put it on mute and just play my special while I'm performing.
Yeah. And then
clips.
go home and watch it again because it's a different show. It's not even the same show.
Oh, we got baseball stuff coming in here, folks.
Uh-oh.
Let's see here. Oh, okay.
Not important. But yeah, so Netflix is doing really, really well.
I'm very proud of it, and we're working on this new material. And I kind of had a I don't know, man. I go through these.
Feeling good about it and then not happy with the set?
But same with jujitsu. Like jujitsu, I feel really confident. I'm like, man, I'm really getting good.
Yeah.
And then I go through these lulls of like, oh God, I suck. I'm not good.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Should I give up? I mean, and that's how I feel about my set right now, where I'm having moments of like, oh man, I'm really on a great path.
You're in the process.
And then, there's moments of like, golly, did I don't want to do that bit, or how much time is that? And is it too fat? And are the audience, are they enjoying it? Do they like it?
Yeah.
I walked on stage and I forget what market it was. And I go, you're not going to hear any of the material you saw on Netflix. And I had like 2, sweet, cool. And then I had like 8 people, what? I came here for that. I love containers. And I'm like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Maybe
and
you give them that at the very end.
I
like
don't
just
know.
as
you do the best you
I
can.
don't know. Yeah, that's hard. That's
you
hard.
know,
I think I don't know. I think for the most part, people want to see new stuff, don't they? Like you're paying for a ticket.
I think Adrian does, right? You do.
Yeah, I think once you get into the set, I think they'll forget all about it.
Right.
The new material.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm proud of it, but I still feel that kind of, but that's what also makes it exciting. That's what makes it fun.
That's what keeps you on
me.
your toes
Yes.
for you, creatively.
That makes me want to go on stage and go, go on stage on Friday, go, man, and it's always hard when I have time off.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. You came off
out
some
of
time off.
rhythm and forgetting what I'm doing. So then you're there in Pueblo trying to get
especially
it right.
with your process, because you don't write it down.
No.
So that's the thing. Even if you asked me, like, Renae, help me, what was this bit, or how did I say this bit? I couldn't tell you because there's no
But Adrian,
transcript.
I need one more bit to add to that set. So I need her to do something. Do something I can write about.
I don't know.
I was thinking the other day.
Uh-oh. What did I do?
Because I thought it was really funny. Renae never thinks of me, right? Renae.
That's not true.
Renae, like my mom, for example. Just for example.
You want me to be your mom?
No. My mom and my brother-in-law, my favorite candy is Reese's peanut butter cups. So when my brother-in-law comes to the house, he's like, Steve, I'm so appreciative of you. Here's a Reese's peanut butter cup. Thinking of you.
We've talked about this. I don't want to make you fat or give you diabetes.
I'm getting to the bit. My mom, Reese's peanut butter cups. Or she knows I like those little pecan treats that she makes. The little cupcake.
The muffins.
The little muffins she makes. She knows I like them. She brings them. Renae is never like, hey, I know you like this here. Ever. So I leave the office last Tuesday and I'm like, Chewy's had just opened up and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to Chewy's, right?
I know where you're going
I'm
with
gonna
this
eat lunch.
now. It just clicked.
So I call Renae and I'm like, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to go eat lunch. Well, I got you a sandwich. I go, what? She goes, you don't want to come home? You're not going to come eat the sandwich? And I was like, well, I'm in the parking lot at Chewy's and I'm kind of craving Chewy's. So then she got all mean to me. She got grumpy and I was like, oh, she got grumpy because she finally thought of me and I turned down her thought of me. Is that funny?
So now I won't think of you anymore. I'm glad we solved that problem.
We'll go back to not thinking about me and I can worry about me and you can worry about you. But
I was really grumpy about it. Like, abnormally irritated by it.
Oh, she was so irritated. And I'm like, dude, why are you being mean to me right now? She's like, watch, I got you a sandwich. You don't want to come home and get the sandwich? And I go, I'm a grown man. I made a decision that I want to eat at Chewy's. Well, I got you a sandwich. I'm like, shit. So maybe there's a bit there. I just got to figure out.
Yeah.
Renee's so mad about it right now. Why are you mad about it?
I know. I'm certain there's a bit there. I just don't know what it is. Let me talk to my therapist and figure out why I was so irritated, and then I'll get back to you.
You were irritated because you thought of me and I turned down your thought of me.
Maybe.
I'm your therapist.
You are.
I'm your therapist.
That's why sometimes this is not very healthy.
You were irritated because you were like, you know what? I never think of Steve, and I'm gonna get him a sandwich. That way, when he gets home, he has something delicious to eat.
Yeah.
And then when I called and was like, I would like to do something different, the fucking wheels came off.
They didn't come off.
Right.
Anyway, I hosted the CASA event.
Oh, tell us about that.
On Friday. I hosted
minutes
CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. And the only reason I want to share is if I can highlight or bring any attention to the cause, what those people do is really amazing. And you can volunteer. You don't have to have money to donate. This is one of those
Did you buy a lasagna for $400?
Well, no. So Gennaro's, this is my favorite Italian restaurant in town. And they were like, listen, the eclipse is Monday. Nobody's going to want to leave the house. We're all going to be hanging out with a bunch of pizzas. So we're auctioning off lasagna. The lasagna got up to $600. I almost walked away with a $600 lasagna.
We lost.
For 20 people. We lost.
Oh.
I did not win the lasagna.
Oh.
But
thank God.
Someone sent me a message on Instagram. She was so sweet. She's like, I will make you a lasagna for free.
Thank God. I saw her do it on the video. She was like, yep. And I'm like, dude. So anyway, y'all did good.
It was an amazing event, but you know how you always say, like, you don't always have to give money, and instead of like being a person who like pickets and holds signs, like actually go and volunteer. And CASA is just really in need of people to volunteer to be advocates, because there's a need for it. There are kids they're in the system who don't have one, and they really need men too, like men to step up, because what it is like
well, studies have shown that most criminal behavior is because there is not a male figure in the home.
Well, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Right? It's trying to break the cycle. But what the advocate does, if anyone is interested in volunteering, what the advocate does is they go through training, but they are in those court sessions, sharing with the judges on the case as the child's advocate what they think is in the child's best interest. They're not the social worker representing the system, and they're not the lawyer representing the parent. They are simply there on behalf of the child to be that child's voice in the court system when they present to the judge. So the benefit, there were lots of judges there. There were sheriffs. There were lots of political appointees who were there to say, like, we really think this is a noteworthy program and we want to continue to support it. And next year's their 40th anniversary.
How much did you raise? Do you know?
We don't have the numbers just yet, but they told me they thought it was their biggest year yet. And they were so sweet. They were just like, we really thought you brought an energy to it that helped really contribute to the funds we raised. So I was super touched and excited.
Well, I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
And that is an amazing thing to do. And I wish that people saw you there, because I saw your little outfit.
It was cruise ship theme, so I did it up. I went with the theme. I dressed up like a cruise director, and I'd make my announcements and be like, "Attention passengers," and that kind of thing. I had fun with it. It was cute.
That is awesome.
It was cute.
I think you did great. I love that would have been a good one for Flip our friend
Oh,
Flip.
for
Yeah,
sure,
next year-
for sure. Well, they do a different theme every year, so who knows what the theme will be next year. But
Flip Schultz, by the way, one of the funniest people out there. Look him up. All right. Well, great podcast. Proud of you.
you're proud of me?
Yeah, I'm glad that you're getting involved, and I think it's great that you're using your Captain Evil celebrity to go out and do some do-gooder stuff.
I just want to be
You
like
know.
a fairy godmother and sprinkle goodness here and there around our community.
I just, I just, hugs go a long way. You think about these kids and the things they go through, and just to have somebody there to care for, that they can count on.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is too, is that accountability.
Yeah.
I have such wonderful parents, and so do you. And, my dad spent a lot of time teaching me how to be a man and teaching me, because people don't realize that these kids know nothing.
Yeah.
So if they're getting their education or they're learning from songs or movies or TV shows, there's nobody to tell them this is right, this is wrong, this is how you approach a situation.
Yeah.
I talk to Garrett about all the time, and most people, when it comes to morality, say that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And then when that comes to it, where they actually have to make a real choice
In real life, IRL.
in real life, they can't do it because they don't want to rock the boat, or they don't want to cause problems,
Right.
And it's like, hey man, sometimes doing the right thing is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to choose to do the right thing, even though it is the more difficult path. So we love you guys. We'll see you next time. And that lady, whoever you are, that started the walk-up music, you're a bad person. See you guys later.